We know today that the ways in which we produce and consume goods and services is a main driver of several sustainability challenges we're facing. In my research and teaching, I'm interested in how consumers can become part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
It's quite obvious that the global challenges that we're addressing in the project are very urgent, but often more intervention-oriented scientists lack the kind of critical philosophical reflexivity about those issues, while philosophers have all kinds of great ideas about it but don't put them into practice.
In recent intervention research projects, I studied how innovative practices like mindfulness meditation and introspection, storytelling and narrative communication, or citizen science and inquiry-based or curiosity-driven learning can help us to disrupt our consumption routines and increase reflexivity in consumers to empower them to make more sustainable choices.
So my work looks at the democratic aspects of decision-making in agriculture. I take something called a more than human approach. So I look at how things like plant botany or new technologies influence people's interests, or how they practically pursue those interests, or how they advocate and describe those interests.
The project addresses global challenges like food security or biodiversity or global health by acknowledging the diversity of knowledges that are needed in order to tackle those problems, both from scientists but also from marginalized actors like indigenous communities who are often not well heard in these debates.
So food is so important to society, and a lot of people have some really great ideas about what they want food to look like in the future. But I think in order to have an equitable and vibrant food future, we really need to enact really ambitious and creative and thoughtful processes for developing that food future at a collective level.
My research looks at responsibility for innovations in context of uncertainty. And specifically, I look at innovations in biotechnology that use genetically engineered microbes. So with these modified microbes, you can make food, you can make materials, and you can make drugs. And with these innovations, there are a lot of questions that arise. Will they be safe for humans and for the environment? Will they create new types of inequalities in society? And how will they disrupt our idea of what nature is? Looking at responsibility in practice, I use ethnographic research methods and virtue ethics to define how we can understand this and apply it in our innovation work. These recent developments in biotechnology will only gain importance in the future, keeping in mind bigger societal goals like sustainability and justice, which are also very important issues within CPT research.
So CPT fits really well for my work because I take such an interdisciplinary approach, and I use science and technology studies and communication science, philosophy, and a little bit of sociology. And there's also a lot of people here that are doing quite similar work to me.
The project fits into CPT by bringing together its three main components. On the one hand, critical philosophical reflexivity about global challenges. On the other hand, the intervention and practice orientation of not only thinking, but actually doing something about those problems. And third, the component of communication by trying to build bridges between very diverse stakeholders.
CPT is a great place for this kind of research, with its mission and ambition to use science not only to identify and analyze socio-ecological problems, but to develop solutions that can help us to bring about the change we need to see in the world today.